Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm taking a look at the DNS Drive by Alex Lind. Um, I'll have a link down in the description to both the website to purchase one of these, the GitHub for it, or the project page, and his YouTube video that kind of talks about it. I highly suggest going and trying and supporting this project. It's a lot of simple components to get. He spent a lot of time on this PCB. It's a really cool PCB. Uh, it's got a place on the back for this SD card, but he has sent it in a stackable orientation so that you put the SD card in down and then you put your D1 Mini on top of it. But you can also directly solder it to the bottom, which I was really tempted and may still do it at some point, but for the video I'm just going to put it together using all the parts here. Just putting this on a hot plate, popping it off, and resoldering it directly onto the board. And I may just have to pick up some more of these boards. I really like this project, and I'd like to kind of play around with all the different ways you can do it. It's got a JST connector for LiPo. It's just got all sorts of things. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't have a screen that I can use with it, but he does have support for a screen. I need to get a handful of those screens just for little projects like this, but at some point and at some point I will. An antenna, you can do an external antenna. There's just a lot to it. So what is the DNS Drive By? It's a name that he coined that uses open Wi-Fi networks to spread telemetry. So it's kind of like a GPS. I mean, it has a GPS on it, but it uses the open Wi-Fi networks to report the location that it's at. It specifically uses insecure networks just automatically. But one thing that he's been seeing used and he's transferred over to focusing on is the war driving aspect, which is where the screen and the SD card and stuff come in. So he's now got a fork of his code that's just for war driving. And if y'all don't know, Alex Lind has done projects in the past. He was one of the ones that made this is the USB nugget. I want to pick up the Wi-Fi nugget, but I haven't yet. But the USB nugget, it's ESP32 based. If you've followed my Instagram for any length of time or since the beginning, some of my very early posts were using the USB nugget just as a HID injector, doing the Rickroll and stuff like that. So he's got a bunch of really cool projects that he's working on. This DNS Drive By just seems to be the one he's been working on the most recently, and is a really cool project. So let's go ahead and move on and get this soldered together.
Adventure start in a new land, take me there. Create a new plan. We are starting again. Adventure start in a new land, take me there. Create a new plan. We are starting again.
Alright, so we got the DNS Drive By all soldered up, we got it all flashed. I'm still have a whole lot to learn with it. It's flashed a little different ways, and I'm gonna look at the instructions in just a little bit and make some comments on them. But it's a great project, so I highly suggest you go support Alex Lind. Buy the DNS Drive By, buy the USB Nugget, both great products. But let's look at the instructions real quick. I know I'm not the only one that ran into this because it's been mentioned on the Discord. Alright, so if you look at the DNS drive-by, we'll go to the guides and we'll go to firmware. One thing I want to note on this, and it does have to be done in Linux, following these instructions anyway, is that I had to install, and I know at least one other person has had to install docker.io rather than just the standard Docker image. And then once you get down here to the canary token, we had to remove the spaces here on each side of the equal sign. After the space is removed, after it was docker.io installed, everything worked. You may have to install a couple of extra things, but that'll pop up through the instructions and tell you what to install or what to update. But yeah, it's a great project. I have a lot to learn with it, so as I learn more, I will post more. I'm hoping to get the long range kit as well, so we'll have that coming up. Please go down into the description, go check out Lind Labs, go check out DNS Drive By, check out the USB Nugget, go support these projects. He's got a lot that he does. It's great and would love to see more come from him. So the more support he gets, the more he's able to do things like that. Also, 463n7.io is my website. I have stickers, t-shirts. I am actually going to be adding something in the next few weeks. Please look familiar. I will be adding full war driver kits, and I will also offer a completed version, all soldered, ready to go, sent to you. So stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, go check out Lind Labs, support him if you can and if you want to buy a DNS drive by or the USB nugget, and we'll see you next time.